Hey there, Abiding fam, and welcome back for another monthly journaling club hangout. My name is Kelsey Lee, and welcome to the monthly journaling club. I'm so glad you are here and ready, hopefully, to document your life 1 month at a time. Go ahead and say hello if you're joining us live in the chat. I would love to know where you are tuning in from and if you have any great beverages in hand. Also, make sure I can hear, or you can hear rather, me okay and can see my journal. I actually switched things up a little bit and have a smoothie today as my beverage of choice. I didn't actually really have time for dinner, so I figured I would just make a quick smoothie. And we've got some pineapple chunks, orange juice, banana, some milk. Matcha cubes were part of this smoothie mix, so it's definitely a good energy building, hopefully, for this session, but hopefully not so energy building that I can't sleep later. So go ahead and let me know what you are enjoying in the chat. And I'm just realizing that this isn't public. So let me fix that right now. I think the only people able to see it in this exact moment are those who saw it through Patreon. So now it is public and everybody should be able to see it come through as live. All right, so for the monthly journaling club, as I said, we are documenting our lives 1 month at a time. And for me personally, it looks a little something like this. For 2025, I have obviously documented every month so far. We have January, February, March, April, and now that we have just started June, it is time to turn the page and document May. And I have a lot of random ephemera and things that I've collected from this month to document, as well as a ton of photos this month because, as you can see, we just had a lot going on. We had a backpacking trip this month, so this entire sheet of photos is just our backpacking experience on the Appalachian Trail. And then all of these photos are a compilation of different things going on, including my best friend's wedding. You have seen, if you've been with me through the previous months, the lead up to the wedding with the special day. We had her wedding shower in March and her bachelorette party in February, and now we are finally here at the wedding, and it was absolutely beautiful. She was a stunning, stunning bride, and we had the best time with so many good friends. So really excited to document that in my journal. And in addition, of course, to all of my photos and ephemera that I've collected throughout the month, I also have my printables. So in 2025, we are designing printable stickers that are meant to be bucket lists to inspire us in each month to check off as many things as possible and make it a memorable month and a memorable year overall. So for May, I was looking at this list and I feel like I got, I don't know, a good half maybe. So let's check them off together. So plan a trip somewhere exciting. We can check that off because I have officially booked our trip to Peru in late July, early August. And we also, or I am, Ben is not going. I also booked my trip to the Galapagos with my friend Emily, and I leave on Monday. So definitely lots of travel coming up, which we'll talk about in a moment with our newest printable sticker kit. I also went kayaking. It says go kayaking with a friend. My friend was my husband. We went for our anniversary. Didn't get to go on a picnic, but I'll definitely be sharing this one for a future month, hopefully this summer. I'll be able to cross that one off. I did have a staycation this month, and that was really nice to just be at home and get things done around the house. I also started my travel journal, so that was really great. I did plant something edible, which did happen to be some tomatoes as well as some other veggies in our garden. I refreshed our yard and patio, just kind of making it ready for the summer. I wouldn't necessarily say that we walked, hiked, or drove to a waterfall. We did go for hikes, obviously, with backpacking. There were technically a waterfall that we passed, but it wasn't the goal necessarily. So I'm not sure I'm gonna check that one off. For this month, I think I'm gonna save it for a hike that is more waterfall focused. And we weren't able to go fishing. I wish I had celebrated Baking Day with a sweet treat, but I didn't. And I still need to get to a yard sale this year. So overall, we have exactly half crossed off for May. Let me know if you have been following along with the bucket list, what your score was for May, how many of these items were you able to check off, and which one are you most looking forward to documenting. And is there one that got you a little bit out of your comfort zone? I'd love to know that too. I'd love to know what on the bucket list is actually inspiring you to actually try something different or new for yourself in that month. And then I did want to just share that the June monthly bucket list is now available and has tons happening on it. So there's so many fun activities for you to enjoy in June, whether picking your own strawberries, enjoying a lazy day at the pool, maybe pitching a tent, either camping or in your own backyard, have a beach day or just replicate one in your own backyard, make a homemade frozen treat, celebrate a dad or father figure in your life, cook a meal on the grill, read a book outside, visit a local fair, carnival, or amusement park, and then finally make your favorite iced drink at home. And this one is our freebie for the month. So every month I pick one of the stickers as our monthly challenge. And this month for June, your challenge is to make an iced drink at home and document it in your journal. And you can access that freebie sticker attached to our post for this live stream over on my Patreon. All you have to do is be a free member and you can access all of our monthly freebies. So that is May and June, and I'll be requesting stickers for July as soon as or sticker ideas, as soon as I am back from the Galapagos. One of my favorite things about making these bucket lists, and frankly, all of the stickers that we create together over on Patreon, is that we do it together. I put out polls for colors. I put out requests for comments on this is the sticker idea and what do you want stickers for related to this theme or related to this month. And every single time, my patrons do not disappoint in offering the coolest ideas. So if you're interested in getting to also contribute to making and designing these bucket lists and all of the stickers, do consider joining us over on Patreon. And the final collection that I want to share with you is the one that I just posted today, and I briefly referenced it when I said about upcoming travel because the newest collection is called Travel Diaries, and it's not just one sticker sheet because frankly I couldn't hold myself back. It is 3. So you get 3 full sheets of stickers. These are available on the Abiding Hope tier and up. And if you, like me, have travel coming up this summer, if you are starting a travel journal for travels that you've had in the past, this is a kit that you are definitely going to want to be able to download and use again and again. We have some wonders of the world documented here. Obviously, things like a suitcase and a plane and a passport, a travel journal, your boarding pass. And then there also are some quotes like travel, document, repeat. I love this one because it's a journaling space, but you can see I designed it to be like a plain window, so you can write your journaling in there. And then on the second sheet, we have some more quotes. And I really wanted to design it to be sort of a mix between vintage, travel feel, but still modern enough that it doesn't feel like, I don't know, like you're journaling about travels that happened in the 1800s, that it can still feel modern. And I feel like we struck that balance. So hopefully you feel the same way. And then there are tons of these word strips. I love using word strips like this in my own journaling. So I definitely like to make a lot for these collections. So all types of words related to travel. And then this was really fun. I found these little map fragments and then colored them so that they would go with the color palette that my patrons had picked out. So that way, when you're using this kit, everything is going to match and look good together. So really excited about this. It is available now on Patreon, whether you join as a member or you can purchase the kit individually. And the final thing that I'll say is if you are interested in travel, that actually is going to be our theme for the next 2 months as well. July, the theme is going to be more beach, lake, on the water theme because my patrons had a ton of ideas related to that, and I felt like it needed its own kit just about the beach. And then the third month of the summer for me, August, will be more road trips locally and staycations for those who aren't traveling internationally this year. If you're just hanging around closer to home, you'll have stickers available to talk about that too. So it's going to be a really great summer full of all kinds of fun stickers for you to be printing out and downloading on Patreon. And when you join, you don't only get access to all the stickers I just shared with you, you get access to every sticker ever posted over on Patreon. And I can tell you it's kind of a ridiculous amount, enough that part of me is wondering if I need to change something about the access. But honestly, one, it feels like a lot of work to do that, and two, it's like it's already made and I just feel like I want people to be able to use and enjoy it. So that's just the way it is. Maybe at some point, if it gets too out of hand, I'll change that in the future. But safe to say, for the foreseeable future, you will continue to get access to everything I've ever created on Patreon when you join. So would encourage you to check it out. And big shout out and thank you to all of my patrons who already are over there supporting me in that way, and to everybody for listening to the spiel at the beginning of this video. So let me just see. I see Belinda and Janie are in the chat. So glad you're enjoying the stickers. And you printed them on ultra premium matte photo paper. Ooh, and you said the colors are really beautiful. So that is awesome. I'm glad you're able to use the stickers in that way. So you just cut them out and glue them down then, since I think that's not sticker paper that you're using photo paper. Which is totally okay too. I like to print mine on sticker paper so I can stick them directly, but you absolutely can just, ooh, I'm dropping things already. You can just print them on regular printer paper, you can print them on photo paper, and then just use a glue stick or adhesive to adhere them to your page. Hi Sarah, welcome. So glad you could make it to the live. All right, so friends, it is the summer here in Pennsylvania, and the live streams are always more difficult in the summer for this reason. I can't have my AC on while filming because it's too loud. And so I'm currently dying of heat right now. Not literally, you know, I live first world and there are much bigger problems in the world, but oh my goodness, I'm very hot. So hence, again, the smoothie instead of a cup of tea this evening. Okay, so I have my photos that we'll need to chop apart, but first, I think what I'm gonna do is go ahead and grab the month's printables, also available on Patreon, because this is what I have been using for this entire year. As you can see, these are the corner strips, and then I also have the ones I used last year are available on Patreon too, where they're the monthly kits with the month titles that I like to put in the center of the page. So just trying to switch things up each year and see how it goes. Oh, you guys are sweet telling me to try putting it on and see if it's too loud. That's fair. All right, I'll put it on and see, and you can tell me if the humming is annoying. Can you hear it? It's definitely humming back there. All right, Victoria, welcome. Oh, I'm so glad you're enjoying this format and enjoying being part of the monthly journaling club. Definitely was my experience that it's just so much better as a way of documenting when you're in a busy season of life, especially, which I feel like is true for all of us. Okay. All right, Belinda and Janie say that the AC is okay. So we'll all just try and get used to it, right? Yeah, for whatever reason, it's like 90 degrees today, and then tomorrow it'll be down to like 80. So it'll be a more normal temperature, but today was a hot one. All right, so we have our May, and I've really liked the last few months what I've been doing, where I've been putting kind of like a sticker behind the month. I remember in January and February too, I felt a little stuck about what to do with the awkward corner space, as you can see in these ones, but the sticker kind of behind it I think has been a nice layered effect. Oh, I'm so glad you're here and gonna hang out with us. Welcome. Oh, I'm glad you liked the Sunshine Sentiments stickers. I actually don't think I have them printed out right now, in part because I actually would kind of like to use them for this page, so maybe I should print them quick. But my printer was giving me some issues, and I realized I just needed to clean the nozzle head, and I was able to do that quickly before we started here, but I wasn't able to print all of the kits to share with you. And the last time I printed it, it got a little wonky. Said the nozzles were not cleaned. So you'll notice that all of my photos are put into, in this case, for this month, I did 4x6 collages on glossy paper. And I make these collages in an app called Collage. It is linked in the description. But what I like about doing this is obviously it makes them tinier photos to be able to use in my entry, but I'm also able to group similar photos together. So all of these photos I grouped together because these are all photos from the wedding, And so rather than cut them all apart, which maybe I will depending on what the design of the page is, I can keep them together if I like and just use it as a collage of the wedding on the page. And then all of these photos are actually from different experiences, so I will cut these ones each out to be on their own. I like you guys are saying you also are gonna try the sticker in the corner once you start 2025, which totally okay if you are trying to work on 2024 and catching up. You can make it work however you want. And also, if you're watching this for the first time, only just now hearing about the Monthly Journaling Club and are thinking, that seems like a really fun way of documenting my life, but the year is already underway, I would encourage you to not wait until the new year. You will be so glad if you just start documenting right away. Document May with us, you know, if you want to look back and think on May, or choose to join us in June and start kind of recording your memories that are happening in June as you go, and you can start then. Halfway through the year, right, is a great time to pick up a new way of documenting. Okay, and then this little strip of photos is all mostly things that we watched or things that I read. This was supposed to be a photo of a bowl of chili that I made because we had actually some colder days in May, and so I got one last round of chili in the crock pot before transitioning to summer. And that photo though didn't really turn out very well. Like I said, my printer wasn't working quite right. I needed to clean the nozzle, so it's like everything just has a slight green tinge to it, but it's not bad enough to have reprinted the photos. We're just gonna roll with it, but we're not gonna be using the chili photo because green chili, you know, that's no good. So I watched Heartland season 18 is on Up, Faith and Family. I don't know if any of you watch Heartland, but it's one of my favorite shows. I can't believe it's on season 18. And you can only watch it right now in the US on Up, Faith and Family. So I always just get a subscription to that when the new season comes out, and then I just cancel it once the season is over. But since I have been watching that, and of course they are now releasing this shows like one every week, so you have to wait to finish the entire season. I've been looking for other things to watch on Up, Faith and Family, and I started watching the Love Comes Softly series, and I'm really enjoying it. There's like 11 movies in this series. I think I'm on like 5 or 6. And yeah, they're just like very good, heartwarming, like old Hallmark, you know, like good early 2000s Hallmark before all of the plots were exactly the same for everything. Yeah, they're just very good, you know, have like tragic elements to them. You know, it's like real storylines, not just your typical city girl comes to the little town and meets the man who owns the inn and they fall in love, and her fiance back in New York, you know, too bad for him. I feel like that's every Hallmark movie nowadays, and of course it's Christmas time in them too. But yeah, so I've been watching those, and then Ben really wanted me to see True Grit, so we watched the newer True Grit recently too. So I just printed out some of the little photos for those. And then I finished reading I Capture the Castle, And I mentioned this in our last hangout because I mentioned that I want to start a book club with you guys. And I was pretty sure that I wanted this to be the first book because I had just started it and I was really enjoying it and thought that it would be a good book for all of us to read together and discuss. And I can now say that it is. I don't know why I'm holding up this little photo. I have the book right here. That would be better to hold up. So I have it linked in the description if you're interested in reading it with us. It's I Capture the Castle by Dodie Smith. And I mean, if all my tabs tell you something about how much I enjoyed it and just so many lines in it that were amazing. But the reason I want to read this with all of you, if you're interested in reading books with me, is that I think it would be really fun to have a book club where we read books that are written in a journaling or diary format and then get to discuss them, but also think about how they could impact us in how we journal. So this book is written as a journal entries. It is fiction, so it's a made-up story. It's not a real person's diary. But when you're reading it, you would honestly think that this was a real 17-year-old girl in the way that she writes. It's so beautifully done. Really, really enjoyed it. I hope that you guys will enjoy it too. So my thinking is that this will be a quarterly book club. So starting in June, even though I know we're a little bit into June, I need to officially announce it on Patreon very soon before I leave. But it would be June, July, August, and so we would then discuss it at the end of August or very beginning of September. Still figuring out the format for that, but this is going to be our first pick. And what I'm really excited about with it is I would also like, since it would be like a journaling focused book club, that I would also create a little sticker kit with like the cover and some little stickers of symbols and icons related to what we read, some favorite quotes on the printable sheet that then if you have a reading journal, you can use that in your reading journal to document your reading of the book with us. So that's the idea. Speaking of reading journals, I think I'm going to start a separate reading journal with the start of our club, and just because I've been wanting to have a reading journal that's all just my book things. Before I was trying to kind of just throw them into my regular journaling, but I feel like over time then I'm gonna have to try and find those books scattered throughout my journaling instead of just having one place where I can be like, here, child of mine, these are all the books I love and you should read. So that's the idea. But I just got this beautiful journal from the washi tape shop and I wanted to share it with you because I think this is gonna be my reading journal. How stunning is this? It's so soft and smooth. It's a really interesting texture. It's like kind of puffy and cushy too. But it has this really beautiful denim look and then this embossing of this vine on the side. And it's a snap closure, which is really nice because then once you fill it up, it has this second snap so that it can, you know, get a little bit bigger. And it is a dot grid. I think this is A5. And it has 2 ribbons and also a pocket in the back. So anyways, I wanted to share it with you because I think this is going to be my new reading journal for our book club. And I would love your feedback. I think I've already decided on a name for the book club, but I would really like to know what you guys think. So I was thinking, since it would be reading books primarily that are journaling or diary formats, that we would call it the Dear Diary Book Club. What do you think about that? The Dear Diary Book Club? Or do you have other ideas for what to call it? Because I also was thinking like the Journalers Book Club, or I was thinking just calling it like the Abiding Journal Book Club, but it's all a mouthful. So that's what I'm thinking. Hi Margot, I'm glad you were able to catch our session live. Dear Diary is good. Fun. Okay. I'm glad you guys approve. It's totally okay to tell me that you have a better idea too. All right. Let's get some stuff on the page, shall we? I have so much ephemera and things from this month too. I have their little, I guess I should cover up the QR code. This is what they put in their little like welcome bags that they had for people at the hotel. The names of my friend and her now husband. So I'm thinking that I'll want to use just the top of this. I always like to save invitations or save the dates from weddings so that I can use them later once the event has actually happened. Definitely recommend doing that. I also have this cute sticker that I got from this place called Lancaster Pie and Coffee, which is, yes, a pie shop and coffee shop all in one. What could be better? And they had this pecan bourbon pie that was so good. And so when my mother-in-law and I, there we go, went to see Anastasia at the Fulton. Yes, this is my second time seeing Anastasia. I absolutely adore this musical. Ben got me tickets maybe 2 years ago when they came to Hershey. And then the Fulton in Lancaster put on a performance, and through my work I get free tickets every year to one Fulton show of my choice, and so of course it had to be Anastasia again. And so this time I got to take my mother-in-law to go and see it with me, so that was really special and adored it all over again. It's just so good. Highly recommend if ever you see Anastasia coming near you or somebody, you know, locally doing it, definitely go and see it. I love it. So anyways, I have those as well. I did maybe, this could be the sticker that I use under, maybe, and then we could have our backpacking trip right by. This is the only problem when I use glossy paper, is you can see the ring light. Hi Sandra, welcome. I'm glad you were able to join us. And Roxy, you're journaling with us too. Janie, I'm so glad you started reading Hamnet. That is one of my absolute favorite books. It's just so lyrical and beautiful. Just such a good account of grief. Absolutely love that book. Let me see. So with getting the journal from the washi tape shop, they also sent me some more washi tape, and I've been organizing. If you haven't seen my last washi tape haul video, I showed how I've been organizing my new washi from them into these clear binders, and it's such a game changer. Like, look how easy this is to just flip through all of your washi and stickers. I'm obsessed. But I just got this new London Fog collection from them, like with all these London stickers, and then I got this Countryside collection, which is what this one is from, but I'm thinking there might be a better one to represent May. So let's see. I don't know, maybe that one is best. kind of looks more, this one's a little smaller. Just cut it. And how gorgeous are these? They're like little paintings. It's just so special. This one's really cute with the kind of boy like catching butterflies and running by the creek. Though it's not as much focused on kind of backpacking. Or this one with visiting the flower market could be really cute. Is that what I used last time? I think it is. I think I used that in April. Okay, I used a similar sticker. I used that part of it. So, maybe not. I'm glad you've been enjoying using the binders too. It really is a game changer. I just lost my May in there. There we go. So I think I'm just gonna use this one. I kind of like how it plays off of the colors actually in their colors that they used for the weddings. So that'll be a nice tie-in. Come on. Ugh, the dreaded trying to peel off a sticker back begins. Oh my goodness. So let me know in the chat what you all are working on. Are you also documenting May as we are hanging out? Are you working on April still and catching up with that? Are you working on another year entirely, or maybe on a different type of journal? Or maybe you're just doing the dishes and it just looks a little different for you right now. I'd love to know. Yeah, or maybe you're just prepping, like Belinda, getting your photos ready, your different ephemera, maybe writing your list of everything that happened. Oh no. All right, maybe not. I thought it would be easier to use the trimmer, but I think we'll just cut the old-fashioned way. I don't think I want any of the white space. That's progress, right? Finished July. Yeah, I figured you meant July 24. So this year definitely feels like it's flying by, but I don't think it's quite skipped ahead that quickly. If it did, I would be in trouble. Okay, this is the only thing with the corner stickers is figuring out where to put it so that it all lines up nicely. Alright, I think that works. So we have May. And maybe I was going to keep this as one collage, but I think what I might do is actually cut it in half and then off center it. Just to keep a little bit of movement on the page. Keeps your eye wandering. So on our backpacking trip, we just did a section of the Appalachian Trail here in Pennsylvania, but we were taking some friends who were completely new to backpacking, so it was just a really fun adventure and getting to experience backpacking through their eyes a little bit. But I have to tell you, we went only like 30 minutes from home. We actually were around some trails that we hike on regularly, and yet I felt like I was in another world. I just felt like I had traveled to another country. I just saw so many different landscapes, even though we were really in our own backyard. And just to prove it, so this section of the trail was really cool because the beavers in the area actually created a dam that ended up flooding it and turning it into this type of landscape, which looked so much like what we saw when we were up in Ontario, in Canada, in Algonquin Park, and yet right in our own backyard. So different. I saw a porcupine for the first time, and it was climbing a tree and just munching on some leaves, just totally chill, hanging out. And it was really close to the trail and just did not care at all that we were there watching it. I felt like, again, I was in another country. I was like, man, if people, came to Pennsylvania and treated it like they treat going to the Amazon, where it's like, oh, I need to go on a tour to see the different animals, right? Like, my husband would have the best job in the world, because he just always sees and points out so many critters, and there's just so much to see in your own backyard, right? So that was really neat. And then we did see some rattlesnakes as well. We saw 9 actually in total on this hike, which I know for a lot of people is very scary, but truly they don't want anything to do with you. They want to run away from you. My camera is zoomed in. I wasn't that close to them, and they're totally fine. But it was really neat to get to see them, and a black phase and a yellow phase together. The most beautiful sunset after some rain that we had. We had our little campfire. Oh, and then get this. Talk about feeling like you're in another country. Somebody must have released goats, or yeah, their goats ran away, but somehow there were goats on the trail, just in this area that happened to have these rock formations that really did kind of look like the Alps or something. And these goats found the one place on the trail that was just for them and made it home. And it was just so funny to see them there. So anyways, that's a little recap of our backpacking experience. But I wanted to share that with you because I want it to be an encouragement that even though I share a lot of our travels where we're going halfway across the world to these really exotic locations, and that's something I love to do. I love to travel, but I have some of my best travel experiences 20 minutes from home too. And so you do not have to go far to have an incredible experience, to try something new, to have an experience somewhere special and beautiful. You can do it in your own backyard, within an hour's drive of wherever it is you live and call home. And so I want to encourage you this summer, if you don't have any big travel plans, or even if you do, maybe think about trying to find that one place or that one activity that is a little bit different for you, maybe a little out of your comfort zone, or it's just a place that you haven't checked out yet, and go there and see what you can make of it. Hi, Edith, welcome. I'm so glad. We have a lot of first timers actually joining us tonight, so that is really fun to see. All right, I'm about to glue these down, but I might wait, because I might want to do a little bit more of like a collage for these photos. I could see maybe using some of these. So I have these ones. Let's see. I don't know if any of these look like mountain laurel, because the mountain laurel was just starting to bloom. Could be like something like that. Oh, thank you, Janie. I'm glad you enjoyed the Grand Canyon video. As predicted, it's not performing well, but I'm glad that you're enjoying it. That's the problem with YouTube, unfortunately. If you try and post anything outside of your typical lane, it faults you for it. So I've been debating in my head if I want to start a channel that's like just my travel vlogs and videos. That would mostly be for me, but I would still share it with you all on Patreon, so if you were interested in watching it, you could. But that way it's more geared to a slightly different audience that's more interested, I guess, in travel. But I haven't decided yet if that's the route I want to go. I don't know. Maybe that one? I think most of these stickers are from Obujo. Some of them might be Amazon. I'm not totally sure, honestly. These newest ones I got these are also the washi tape shop. And so I'll have that linked for you then. I'm not sure if I have it linked yet, but I will put it down there for you, as well as my code if you want a discount. But yeah, thank you. I'm glad you all enjoyed the Grand Canyon video. If you haven't seen it yet, go ahead and give it a watch and let YouTube know that you guys want to see that kind of content too and are okay with things a little bit outside of the journaling lane. But I'm really glad some of you were able to watch it and hopefully get some inspiration from it. And yeah, that was just such a fun adventure. Ooh, I kind of like that. I don't know if I don't want to go overboard, because I know I'm gonna need like some journaling space, and obviously we have a lot of other things to document. But I'm glad Sarah said that I make her want to hike and backpack, which is not typically her thing. You know, that I think is one of the beauties and the goals of having a YouTube channel and sharing your life and what interests you and excites you, is getting to inspire other people to give it a try. And you know, you might do it and say, yep, it's not my thing, but power to you, and that's totally okay. But we never know unless we try, right? And we can all do different levels of things too. You know, you don't have to backpack to enjoy being out in nature, maybe you like to go car camping and just be able to have the luxury of your your books and your amenities nearby, and being able to use a real bathroom at a campground. But there's all different ways to experience things. Yeah, the bathroom thing you get used to. Yeah, Edith, you like me had a very busy May. It kind of makes it a bit more challenging to get everything on the page. That's one of the reasons I like doing the 4x6 or 5x7 collages with having a B5 sized notebook, is I know if all the photos fit in that size collage, then I'm going to be able to fit them all on the page. Now, of course, how they fit with all the other things maybe that I want to document can sometimes be a question mark, but typically I think that works out pretty nicely. Right. Trying to remember. I have too many stickers that I've made over the years. If I have one that's more backpacking focused, I have this folder that I call Nature, Outdoors, Animals, and Travel that I just throw things in that I think are related to one of those topics. I definitely recommend, if there are things like hobbies that you enjoy, just start creating folders. You can use like a Ziploc bag. It doesn't need to be anything fancy, but if you have a labeled folder or bag that you know this is for all things related to reading, or this is things related to coffee and tea and cafes, right? That's what this little folder is for me. I have one related to cooking and food, right? So just topics that I know I personally am going to be journaling about frequently and maybe have acquired a lot of different supplies for. That way, you know, once you're talking about one of those hobbies you enjoy, you can just reach for that bag and possibly find something to use, like this. Wind your way through the woods. It's actually really cute. I wish I found this ahead of time, because then, oh, it actually might go really cute there. I just will have to cut it down. This actually, I don't know if you can tell when I flip it over. Prime members, this is one of those free magazines that Amazon sends to your house just before the holidays to try and get you to buy stuff. It's like their gift guide. But this was on it, and I was like, that's actually really cute and would be fitting for me and my journaling. So I cut it out, and now I'm gonna get to use it on a page. So this is a fantastic example of how you can find all kinds of free supplies to use in your journaling. You just have to keep your eyes open for it. There's just so much out there, whether it's junk mail being sent to your house, it's, you know, invitations and save the dates, cards that you get for your birthday, so many paper products. that you can repurpose and use in your journaling. And look how perfect, look at that. Look how perfect that's gonna be. Okay, let's put this. Great. That's great. I'm loving this. I think what I'm gonna do is make this whole side actually is probably gonna be dedicated to our backpacking experience is what I'm thinking, and then we'll do this side as like all the other activities of the month. See if there's anything else in here. We have Get Lost, could be good. A little salamander dude. We did see some, but I don't think we saw that kind, so I'm not gonna use it. And then I have my collection. This is available on Patreon too. For those of you who aren't traveling far, I do already have this kit that's called Everyday Adventures. So this is basically kind of like the kit I'm talking about in August, except that'll be different designs and different focus. But this is all about things that you can do right around home, like going for a movie night, pizza night, going on a bike ride, exploring your own backyard. So these would be really great to use too. But I like the idea of using either the Everyday Adventures, or I like the Adventure Starts at Home a lot. I'm just debating if the colors, though actually maybe the colors are good because, so I want to use these ribbons, which were part of the wedding and the colors that they had used. But actually it's like the blue and orange, and then the yellow is picked up here. So maybe it will work. That's a great idea to use a graduation party invite. I also, when I have a lot of photos and ephemera I want to use, doing tip-ins is a great idea, where you can put the photos on the back of the invitation or vice versa, and then that way when you're not adhering everything to the page, you can use things double-sided. I have tons and tons and tons and tons of examples of doing that in my interactive journaling video. That one has just so many examples from my own journaling of how I make things interactive, and a big section of that is on tip-ins and flip-outs and doors and tuck spots, all kinds of things. There we go. Adventure starts at what I'll do. want to write AT for Appalachian Trail. So if I do it, and then do the A. I was going over the washi sticker a little bit, but it's not smearing, so that's good. And I think the question then is, do I want to fill it in with white, or do I want to just color it in black? I think, or it could be another color entirely, really. It could make it metallic. That would be fun. Have some metallic markers. Well, that looks very dried. Maybe not. Let's see. What's this gonna look like? Oh, that actually is coming through, though I don't know if it'll stay on the... It might. Ooh, okay. I don't know what this is. I guess I should tell you. It's a Spectrum Noir Metallic in Gold Nugget. So, that's fun. This is beautiful. I think this was one of those pens that I got from my mom's scrapbooking collection. And so I don't think I've actually ever used it. It's just been sitting in this pen spot next to me, gathering dust, when it could have been adding gold magic to my journal all this time. Who knew? Wow, so pretty. Went a little outside the line. Yeah, I bet kids love having the interactive elements. That's something way down the line when we'd be ready to have kids. I think about sharing my journals and how much fun kids would have with those parts of them. I mean, let's be honest, it's fun for us big kids too. The kids at heart. Yeah, I like the bags for keeping stuff organized. I've had bins and things like that before too, but I feel like it does get a little bit overwhelming. Here we go, AT. All right, should we try and see how the gold looks? Ooh. I don't know how much it's picking up. It's interesting because it's like super rich color and definitely is gold, but it's not crazy metallic like some gold things are. But I really like the look of it, and it's actually perfect, I think, for... It gives like a really rich, almost like wooden look to it. I'm kind of debating if I want this now, though. Ugh, I feel bad, but I, I do really like this sticker. I just feel like the vibe isn't right. The vibe's not right. And of course, it's gonna be one of those stickers that doesn't want to just come up nicely. No, it's gonna rip the page instead, but that's okay. Don't fear the ripped page, because you can always put something over it later. So that's okay. But yeah, it didn't. It's a cute sticker, but this text, and then this is like a fancy text, and then the gold, I'm not feeling it matches as well. Yes, earthy, that's a good word for it. It's very earthy. Yeah, thank you for that, Sarah. the never quite feeling ready to have kids, and feeling that way even when you have kids. Definitely, I think, is true. At some point, you just have to decide to go for it, because you're never going to feel 100%. I think maybe I'll cut this like an arch. I'm gonna take a break from the AT side for a bit as I think about what else I want to do there. Definitely want to have room for my journaling too. Especially because I think for this trip, while I could add it to my travel journal, I have dreams of starting like a hiking focused journal, but you know, who has the time for all the things that we would love to have journals for? I don't think that's going to be reality, at least right now. So rather than, I feel like this trip is documented well just on this page, so I want to leave a good amount for me to do some journaling about it too. And then that will suffice for helping me to think back fondly on that experience. Okay. We've got our Michelle and Dalton wedding. So I could like trim, I don't know, what do I want to do? Because I do really like these. So I could put them on like either side of the photo. It could be like this. But I don't know, maybe I don't want to use both. Could be that one is enough. I don't know. I could do something like, speaking of interactive elements, maybe like have a little pocket and then you can pull it out, and then I could have journaling about the wedding in the pocket. That could be fun. So it could be, okay. Yeah, the blue would match because of my dress. And I could save this for fall journaling because that's very pretty in fall. Into journaling and not diamond painting. Yeah, I have to admit, no offense to anybody who enjoys diamond painting, to each their own hobby, right? But that is not not for me. I don't fully get that one either, but I can see how, like, you know, it's just like a mind thing of placing your diamonds in the right spots and the satisfaction of seeing it build up. Like, I could understand that part of it, but too much time in my book when I could be doing so many other things. So let's see if we can find a nice journaling card to, all right, like a tag. The problem is I have too many papers that I just keep stuffing into this box, making it harder and harder for me to actually find what I might want. Oh, this is the backing of stickers that I saved. It's a little glossy, so it'd be hard to write on, but it's really pretty, so I did save that. Huh, changing from journaling to diamond painting. I'm not aware of that switch that's happening. Use this. This also is the back of stickers. Keep saving. Gotta save all the little elements from the stationery that you buy. Let's see. Do like scarecrow? I don't know. Ooh, gold. More gold. I could use that, because that would fit nicely. I would have to trim it, and then I can write my journaling on the back. That's true, I could do a flip up too. That's not a bad idea. Because then it could be like, ooh, all right. Be like this. And then have my journaling underneath. And then I can use the ribbon as like a sign that you should flip it up. I like that idea. Bye, Belinda. Thanks for joining us. Ditching me to watch basketball. I'll only be slightly offended. Enjoy the game. Okay, let's see. Oops. Okay. So I'm going to put a dotted glue on first. Pull you a little closer. I definitely think people can have more than one hobby. I have a lot of hobbies. Is that going to be too long? Oops. Oh yes, I definitely feel like I have too many at times in terms of the amount of time that I have to actually complete them, but I just can't imagine giving any of them up. I feel the same way. I think I'm gonna trim this a little bit more. Oh, I see what you mean. If you're somebody who has a hobby on social media that you're sharing, like I do, my channel's called My Abiding Journal. So if I suddenly switch to only sharing like video games, which would never happen because I don't play any video games, but if that were to happen, you all might be pretty confused as to why all of a sudden I'm only posting about playing video games. I would have to have been switched with another person though, because then that would never happen. Yeah, it's true. And that also is, like I said, with my travel interest. I want to do my travel videos because it's something I really enjoy. And so I have debated if I should just have another channel for that instead of posting them here. So, but I think to each their own when it's just like a one-off thing. Because ultimately it is your channel. And people can choose to stick around or not. Alright, I'm gonna put a piece of tape to just hold this down even more. And then I will end up putting this on here as my indication to flip it up. Do I want... I could also trim it. I don't know, what do you think? Should I trim it in the blue too? Or is just the velvet enough of the... I think maybe it's enough. Like it alone? Okay. Behind the names, more in the middle. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna do it by itself. Now, do I want it to just be that, or do I want like another flower or something? Or is that too much? I got a little glue on things. Uh-oh. I'm making messes of this. My hands are all gluey. I don't think it's too noticeable, but there are, I made little marks on it. So I think that's a cute idea. Hi Lynn, thanks for joining. Yeah, glue does go everywhere. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, this glue is the Tombow, oh sorry, it's not focusing, Tombow Mono Liquid Glue in the Multi XL. I have it linked in my Amazon storefront, I'm pretty sure. And actually, one of you, I think was it Stephanie? Was it you? Sent that to me so kindly. And I'm obsessed with it now. It's like the only glue that I use for, especially for this journal. I mentioned that I really enjoyed using the dingbats, but I was finding it not working very well with my typical adhesive tape and glue sticks and all that, and I just couldn't find a good adhesive to use with it. And then she sent me that one, and I've been hooked ever since. See, I got like glue on it here, and now there's little blue things on it. It's bothering me, but we'll have to let it go. Okay, I'm going to put this up in the corner. I guess I should write, I don't know, but I don't want to write yet. It's alright, I'll just put, maybe I'll put something down to write later. Yeah, I find that's true for a lot of people with scrapbooking, is if you're very into scrapbooking, it can get kind of out of control in a way really fast, where you just have so many scrapbooks and it's too much, frankly, to realistically look back on, which is why I love the concept of monthly journaling, especially as something to pass on to people in the future, because I think it's a much more manageable than passing on tons and tons of daily journals or anything like that. Or even, yeah, like an entire 50-page scrapbook dedicated to a single vacation. That's how my mom used to scrapbook, and I love her scrapbooks, don't get me wrong, but the fact is that I'm not turning through them on the regular for exactly that reason. Have our photo, and then I'll probably use regular tape just to make sure that we get a nice seal. Oops. Oh no, look at that. Whoops. Okay, apparently with this card, you can't stick tape on it and pull it up because it will take all of the gold with it. So I have to try and line this up where I had it. Okay, whatever, we'll call that good enough. So now maybe what I'm gonna want is a wider washi to cover that up. Could use like this one, or it could be even like one of the washi stickers. That actually might be nice. And then that'll tie it in to the washi over here. So oh, Carrie, I'm so glad to hear that this has been a form of memory keeping that you really enjoy and have been able to keep up with and are enjoying that much and getting to document your family. And yes, definitely, I think there are definitely some apps you could use to blur out things that you don't want to share publicly. If you wanted to share them with our group. You could also share them if you don't want to share on social media in our private group over on our Patreon. We do have a chat there that you may feel a little bit more comfortable sharing children's faces with, but totally understand if you still want to find a way to blur out things. I saw that tip in tape too, where it has more of like a hinge divider. I've had it on my list to get it and try, but haven't done it yet, in part because it feels like kind of an unnecessary item where like I could see the benefit, but also I feel like I've made so many tip-ins without it and have been able to make them work just fine. So maybe it's worthwhile to get, but we'll have to see. Yeah, that's true too. I know there are definitely some people who will share their journaling, but they'll just put, right, scrap papers or Post-its over anything that they don't want to share. That's how I started out too, Margot, is I would have kind of my highlights journal where it was daily entries just when I had a big highlight that I wanted to document. So, all right, we have our little wedding collage over here, and I will do journaling on the back. I think that's really a cute little way to incorporate the save the date, or this wasn't from the save the date, but it's the same style. And then also the little ribbon that she had tied on the welcome bags. And then we have our Wind Your Way Through the Woods too, which I'm already ruining because, let me grab the end of my dress. Eeh. Hopefully it'll dry. It's not gonna blur. I gotta be careful because my drink is getting condensation, so it's dripping when I put it over my journal. Okay, what else do we have to document? Our anniversary was in May, so we went kayaking for our anniversary and had a little fire. It's not gonna get close enough, but, and then I have my reading outside in the hammock with Jeannie, my favorite pastime. That actually would be good to document along with the staycation printable, which I haven't used any of the journaling prompts for the bucket list yet, so I should probably get one or two of those on the page. I have been loving seeing you all share your entries on Patreon. I should log into Instagram sometime and see if anybody's tagging me there and sharing their entries over there, because I've just kind of decided for myself that I don't really want to be on Instagram, at least in this season, maybe ever. We'll see if I ever bring it back. But right now I'm enjoying not being on it. But there are aspects of it that I miss, like being able to see when people share stuff and they want to tag me. So that's why I like having the Patreon chat rooms now, that you guys can all share your entries there. And that way, for those who don't have social media either, there's an outlet and something that feels a little bit more private than having to share things publicly. So I would love for you to continue to do so, because it is so much fun to see how you all are documenting your months. And I love seeing how you guys are using the stickers and how you are getting inspired to check things off of your own bucket list for the month. You have journal entries with coffee stains on them? Yeah, me too. Coffee stains, water stains. Part of the course, right? What people share on Patreon, there are now chat rooms. So I think I want to say it's a tab called like community. It might be a little bit more accessible on the app on your phone, though you should be able to get to it on the website too. And there are different chat rooms set up, and the one where people are sharing their monthly entries is just called Monthly Journaling Club. So yeah, if you go on it, you should see home, collections, and then chats in the middle, and the chats is where people are sharing their entries. So you can go to the monthly journaling chat and get some inspiration from your fellow members in the monthly journaling club and see how other people are designing their entries, not just how I am designing my entry. So fun. Do our staycation. I could put this here, because I think maybe it didn't. I was gonna say I thought that my staycation and the backpacking trip were connected, but I actually think they were separated by a week, so never mind. But I'm just wondering if I'm gonna have enough room over on this side for everything, because I definitely want to put Anastasia over here. I don't know if I want this, which is definitely very big, or if I want to use the ticket. I mean, one nice thing about a ticket is you could have it flip up, right? Not that, I mean, I could do that with this too, I guess, but it's a little bit more sturdy. Because I could have this flip up too for more interaction. And then I could put the photos and journaling about that under it. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. And so you have to be careful that you don't rip it, but since it has the perforation, if I just fold it there, I can glue down this part to hold it onto the page, and then this part can just be a hinge and flip up. So maybe we'll put that here at the bottom. Just have the soundtrack to this like playing in my head now. I'm like singing the Princess Anastasia, but please do not repeat. It's like the opening rumor song. Let's see, so we have this was when we went to the Lancaster Pie and Coffee. So I could put that under it and then have it flip up, or I could just put it on here. I might do that because I don't really, it doesn't need to be the full sticker. That would be okay. I could even fold it over. Oh, but I don't want to fold it because it'll cover up Fulton Theater with where I put it. So never mind. We'll just cut it, trim it. There's nothing more satisfying than when your scissors glide to cut something. Thanks for joining us, Margot. Carrie, you also ran out of space? Yeah, we have to get creative when we have too many things to document. We gotta start throwing some interactive elements on the page, but that can make it even more fun. I had another photo, there it is, of us going to see Anastasia. So I feel like I need to back her in something else. I wonder if there's a porcupine in here. I'm getting distracted, but it just made me think of it. I don't think that's a porcupine. It's like every other animal. Foxes, deer, bunnies, birds. Nope, I don't see one. That's not what I was looking for, but while we were at it. Is all vellum? Oh, I don't want that. These are like random Shakespeare quotes. Which would be very fitting for my mother-in-law because she loves Shakespeare. But I really wanted a, is this, no. I thought I had coffee stickers somewhere. I don't even know what's in here. They're like just random stickers, I don't know. Like vintage elements. There's this coffee. So it could be that, or I think oh, there is a pie. No, is that a pie? What is that? Yeah, I think it's a pie. It could be a waffle, but we'll call it a pie for the sake of our entry. Okay, so we have our little pie. We can put her on. It does kind of look like a cherry pie, but we're gonna call it a pecan pie because that's what I had. And then since this is perforated, I am gonna just put this one over the edge and fold it, just to make sure that if ever the perforation was to rip, that there still is something connecting it to the page. And then we can put her in the middle. So cute. I'm really looking forward to Saturday morning. She and I are actually meeting up at another cafe because we started our own little book club, just the two of us, to read books together because we're both big readers and get together and discuss them. And guess what book we read together, which is the reason that I finished it before sharing it with all of you. I Capture the Castle, so I'm gonna have a discussion with her before I have my discussion with all of you. So I'm really looking forward to our own little book club together. I just stuck my hand right in the glue. So there we have our little tip-in. We went to see the show and we had our pie and coffee after, and beforehand we went to a fantastic restaurant in Lancaster called Chella's, I think, which is a Peruvian restaurant, and let me tell you, it was getting me so excited for our trip to Peru because the food was amazing. So that was really fun too. I got out this little cafe, but I don't think I might not use it. And then I was debating if maybe I wanted to like cut out one of the Russian buildings. I don't know, let's see what it might look like. So we could I like it well enough. I'll probably cut it on there. Edith, I remember feeling that exact same way in school, that I just could not wait to be done having to read things for school so that I could read all the things for fun. But I will tell you, life has a way of making there be other excuses that get in the way of reading. But I definitely do love that I don't have any assigned reading. It's just whatever I want to read. It's definitely a game changer. All right, so we have our little Russian houses, and then us at the theater and her at Lancaster Pie and Coffee, and then I'll probably just do some little sparkles around it or little doodles and journaling for that. And then we'll have, I don't know, maybe our staycation. I think I'm gonna just you love how I get distracted and I'm working on one thing and I just totally switch to another part of the page. Anybody else? I think I was getting distracted by the page being ripped, so I just want to put something down to cover it a while. Shouldn't have cut it there because I could have cut it there. Well. I have this tiniest little piece. Try and get the backing off of. Okay, there we go. So now we can go back to what we were doing. So I think I'm just gonna put these down here in this corner. I'd love to know if any of you read a great book this May that you would recommend to others. I'm trying to think of what else I read this month. I just finished Everything is Tuberculosis by John Green. I listened to that on audio, and it was very interesting. There's a lot of things I didn't know. So that was a good nonfiction listen. You read Yellowface for book club? I read that, I think I read that last summer. Another great yellow book. I listened to that one on audio, and I don't know if you read it physically versus audio. I think if I would have read that book physically, I would not have enjoyed it nearly as much, because the narrator who did Yellowface, I thought was so good. I thought she just did such a good job and really brought the characters to life for me. So I overall did enjoy it, and I think as a writer I just found it really fascinating and raised a lot of interesting questions. Hi Zion. Glad you were able to catch the very end. We're probably wrapping up soon. It's like I said, my smoothie is only taking me so far at this point in terms of a meal, so I think I need to go eat something real. The Ministry of Time. I haven't heard about that book. What is that one? Like, what's the genre for that one? Or the short premise? Put these over here too, because I did watch this a lot on my staycation, because I actually spent a lot of time working on my travel journal. I finished all of my entries for Canada last year, so go me. Now I just need to document the Grand Canyon, and I'll have the major highlights of 2024 travel documented, so then I can document all these things we're doing in 2025. But while I was working on my travel journal, this is primarily what I was watching. Easy Beauty on Seeing and Being Seen. That's a very long title. I haven't heard of that one either. Oh yeah, the Lorien Legacies. I read I Am Number 4. I read those when they first came out as a I was a teenager. I believe I was a teenager when those first came out, and at that time I read a lot of YA. So yeah, I remember reading those, and then they made the movie, which was not very good, but sci-fi modern day Britain with a time travel door. Oh, interesting. Pulling people from the past right before they die and bring them to modern times. So, like, is it right before they die, like they're gonna die of something that is curable in modern times, and then they don't die in modern times because they can fix it? So that's an interesting concept. Ooh, River of Time, YA, Christian, and time travel. I'm gonna have to go back to this chat and jot down all of your ideas. Oh, I see. It was so that they wouldn't affect the timeline since they were going to die anyways. I gotcha. That's the thing with writing time travel, is it can get really complicated really fast. You gotta be careful. Let's see. Should we put this here? Oops. I did plant these on our staycation too. So maybe I will put them just like in the corner. Just a gluing machine right now, just getting all the things down. It's usually how I like to do it, and then I'll go back and think about titles and captions and what I want to say about everything. And then I'll put my trip planning one for planning our trip to Peru. Put that up here. And I'll have to say something about our anniversary over here. Let me see what else. Oh, this is my, oh, I forgot about this. Shoot. Maybe I'll just put this in the back. This is my speech for my friend's wedding. I did it as a, I won't share the whole thing, but I did it as a mnemonic device of her name. So I said like M is for middle school, and then talked about middle school, and then I is for inseparable and talked about that, and C is for cute because, fun fact, on the night that she met, well, she didn't meet Dalton, she already knew him because we went to high school together, and that night afterwards she said Dalton got kind of cute. So I talked about that in my speech because it was the first moment where I was like, oh, like she definitely has a little crush on him, and now they're married, so that's fun. But yeah, I did originally think maybe I was gonna make a pocket and put my speech in it on the page, but I don't think there's enough room, and it also I think would be kind of bulky. So whenever I have things like this that are from that year and time, I just stick them, like you can see I have a few items back here already. they just all go back in the pocket that is in the back of most journals. And so that is what I would recommend, is when you have like nice notes or things that you get that you're like, you know, I do want to keep this. I want to associate it with this time in my life, but I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to really fit it on the page, or it's a bit bulky. You can always stick it in the back. And then if you wanted to, what you could say is on your page somewhere, like even what I might do is in my journaling, I could say, the speech I wrote is in the back of this journal in the folder. And that way I know when I'm reliving these memories years from now that that reference thing that I'm looking for is in the back of this journal, and I can remind myself in my journaling. So that is what I would recommend, and that's what I'm going to do with that piece. Otherwise, I think that's all the things that I was going to put on here. I did save this. Maybe I'll put the little book of the month. Book of the month finally got me. They're not sponsors or anything. I don't have a code. I don't have anything. They just got me with their advertising because they came out with that hat campaign. The hats are what got me. If you have seen ads for Book of the Month, they were doing a free hat with your $5 book. And I was like, well, that's a steal. And I really want this hat because the hat says, born to read books, forced to read emails, which a lot of my job is reading emails. So I just loved that and was like, I want that hat. And so I got the hat, got a book with it. But here's the kicker. Don't fall for it, guys, because it's not just a $5 hat and book. In order to have it be only $5, you have to stay on for another month. So I had to stay on for one more month. Now you still get another book out of it, and it's still a good deal getting 2 hardback books for like $25 basically, and a hat. So I'm gonna cancel it now, but that's why I have Book of the Month, because they got me. They got me with the hat. I wanted the hat. So maybe I'll use their little logo. But I wish I should have taken a photo in the hat and put that on the page. Do I always tend to use small photos? I would say yes for these pages, mostly because I just often have so many that I want to document and can only fit so much. But there are times when there's a photo that either like features people that I really want to blow up, or is usually of like something very scenic. And then sometimes I will have a large photo that I print out. I'm not even sure if I have any examples in my recent monthlies. Even probably not. I mean, this is it's not that big, but for my 30th, I did make that picture quite a bit bigger to feature it. And probably not otherwise in my monthlies, but in my travel entries, I do sometimes have like an entire 4x6 photo dedicated to just that one photo that I really want to highlight. Okay. I don't know yet if I'm going to use this or not. I think I'm going to see what else I have to document, so I'm not going to put it down until I decide that. But I think this is probably a good place to start. I realized we didn't write anything. This was just a gluing and sticking journey. Oh, I wrote AT, I stenciled that, so I guess that's something. But I hope that this has given you some inspiration this evening. As always, I will be finishing this entry hopefully in the next few days before I leave for my trip. and we'll share the completed entry on Patreon in our group chat. Again, you can head over to that, completely free to join and be able to join our chat to see not only my completed entries, but completed entries from all of you too. And I hope that you will share yours there when you are done too. And yeah, I'll have information about our book club coming out soon. So go ahead and get your copy of I Capture the Castle. I have it linked in the description if you are interested in reading it with us this summer. Again, June, July, August will kind of be the reading time frame. If you want to use all of that time, you don't have to. You know, if you're a quick reader, you could just save it for August right before we have our chat about it. But that is the plan. And then we'll have our next monthly hangout to document June in July, which I think it's July 3rd, the day before 4th of July is the next one. So we'll, I think, continue to keep that date. I don't think that's too much of a conflict with celebrating the 4th. But that'll be our plan. I hope that you had fun, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to all of my patrons for your support. If you want all of the stickers, you can head over to my Patreon to access them. And I'll look forward to journaling again with you soon. Until then, keep exploring your abiding creativity and document a life abiding in faith, hope, and love.